Alright, let's do this. Hey, me Matt here. So, WrestleMania was last night, and I bought it. The company made you pay $80 for the pay-per-view, so was it worth it? Let's find out. It was a good show, by the way. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but like I said, let's just find out. Let's find out. The stage was good. I'll say that. The stage was impressive. You had the Empire State Building. You had the Brooklyn Bridge. You had everything New York, New Jersey-wise. I won't even get to the fucking pre-show, because that should have been on the card. But, anyways, the show kicked off, surprisingly, with The Shield versus Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show. And I was more than happy to see that. Because the last 3 years, it was the world title that kicked off WrestleMania. But, there it is. And it happened with the right people. We finally saw the right people win in the first round. It was The Shield with Dean Ambrose, I think, getting the fall on Randy Orton. Yeah. And then later on, after the match, Big Show turned on Sheamus and Randy Orton with the knockout punch. I was only disappointed because, like I said in the last video I did yesterday, I think that there's going to be a heel turn, and there's going to be a new member of the Shield. And that did not happen, okay, but who knows what's going to happen tonight. Big Show has to explain himself. And then Mark Henry versus Ryback, with Mark Henry getting the victory after Ryback doing shell shock and failed, and Ryback fell on top of him. I don't know how you can't break ribs, but anyways, Ryback lost the match, but eventually gave the shell shock to Mark Henry afterwards. So Ryback was the one that still standing. Then it was the Tag Team Championship match. Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler and Becky Langston with AJ at the corner. So yeah, and Daniel Bryan was the one that pinned Dolph Ziggler. It was a good match. It was for what it was worth. Yes, it was an okay match. I think that it maybe could have been better if we had Dolph Ziggler actually cash in the Money in the Bank. But he didn't all night, and he didn't even bother to cash in the Money in the Bank. And Fandango versus Chris Jericho. And I made a comment on Facebook last night saying that Chris Jericho's losing streak at WrestleMania is gone strong. Now, he has won, as I can remember right now, 2 WrestleMania matches in his lifetime and in the WWE. I may be wrong, but I think it's 2 out of whatever. 2 out of 8. I don't know. He's been in. It was a lot, anyways. He did lose, and he lost to Fandango. Again, was it good for that match to happen that way? Well, Fandango, Johnny Curtis, is new in the WWE on Raw, and yeah, I think, giving him the win is, it's a shame that they didn't make Chris Jericho win, but there you go. That's just the way it is. Then it was Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger for the world title. Not particularly my favorite match of the night, mainly due to the fact that Jack Swagger didn't get an entrance. It was just them in the ring, just talking about shit. And, yeah, not really something I would want. Um, so, there it is. They had CM Punk versus The Undertaker. That's when the show started to pick up. A great match. There was a point where it was Undertaker putting CM Punk in Hell's Gate. It turned into the Anaconda Vice. And you can see the look on The Undertaker as he gave it to CM Punk and broke the Anaconda Vice, and then they did the Tombstone Piledriver. And they did it a couple times. The match was cool. I enjoyed it, you know, and it was very emotional. I think one of the most, very few times, and maybe the first time I've ever seen The Undertaker show a sad look on his face as he bowed down to the urn in memory of Paul Bearer, and very sentimental in that way. Then we had the Triple H versus Brock Lesnar No Holds Barred fight. Very good match. I'm a sucker for those matches. It's those matches and Hell in the Cell, which I would have preferred, but you get what you get. I think it was a good match. I think the highlight of that match was when Brock Lesnar threw Triple H on the table and fucking broke. Now, Undertaker, I think, no, it was CM Punk doing the elbow off the top rope onto the Undertaker when he was lying on the table, and it didn't break. Well, it broke in the match with Brock Lesnar and Triple H, but Triple H came away with the victory, which is okay in my book. You know, it makes the WWE look good compared to the Ultimate Fighting, I guess. I don't know. Then we had John Cena versus The Rock for the WWE Championship. You know, and this is where I predicted John Cena would turn heel. And it would be like WrestleMania 17, where we would have maybe Paul Heyman come out and cheer John Cena on, and then John Cena would shake hands with Paul Heyman and maybe join the faction with him and CM Punk and maybe Brock Lesnar and The Shield. But no, instead, we got a WrestleMania 6 reminder, or deja vu match, where John Cena won the belt, and him and The Rock shook hands and hugged and said whatever. But you know what? You know, if you ask me, a lot of people didn't like WrestleMania 29, which to me was a hell of a lot better than WrestleMania 19, and even better than WrestleMania 28 and 27. Although last year was pretty cool, I guess. But there it is. I think that I'll tell you this though, I don't think it was worth $80. I think it could have been a lot less. There could have been a lot more. And some of the things were a bit rushed. Living Color, who I haven't really seen do a performance, did it pretty rushed. More so than P. Diddy. But the set was cool. Some of the matches were awesome. Again, Brock Lesnar and Triple H, also Undertaker, and CM Punk were the highlights. Yeah, not too bad. And some of the right people won, like The Shield, you know, and that's basically, I think maybe the Intercontinental Championships should have stayed on the pay-per-view, but there you go. Anyways, okay, bye.